Aston Villa fans, and welcome back to For the Love of Pomegranate podcast with Villa AM on the 15th of October 2025. Before we get into this podcast, I just want to bring your attention to football prizes to win 2 hospitality tickets to Aston Villa versus Manchester United. The link is in the bio, and there's also a QR code just above my head, or slightly to the side of my head here. This ends on the 15th of October, which will be the day that you're watching this at 7 p.m. that evening. And tickets are $6.95. There's only 20 or so tickets left. It's a low odds draw, which means there's only 99 tickets. So if you get one of those tickets, you've a 1 in a 99 chance of winning 2 tickets to Aston Villa versus Man United in the hospitality suite on the 20th of December. So what's today's topic? I hear you say, well, it's about left backs, because that is the next relevant position that we want to go to. And I've titled this one, Left Backs Overwhelm? Question mark. And the reason I've done that is because everybody who listens to this podcast will know that I've found the left back position a bit underwhelming this season. I've thought that Lucas Digne didn't start the season very well. I thought a lot of our attacking woes were because we are so heavily focused on getting down that left-hand side. I thought that a lot of it was very uninspiring, a lot of just crosses for crosses sake. And I thought that it was a contributing factor to why we weren't creating chances. Saying that, I wanted to talk about why both of these, why I felt the overwhelming piece is now beginning to dissipate, and why it's now beginning to not be as big an issue as it was at the start of the year. Because I think that both of these players are going to show, well, one of them I think is going to have a greater say in things as the year goes on. And I think that Lucas Digne essentially is getting back to himself. And why do I say things like this? Why is Neil nattering on about this nonsense? Well, let me tell you my reasoning why. So Lucas Digne this year has played 9 games, 518 minutes. He's had 7 tackles, 6 of them those tackles he's won. He's had 0 shots blocked. But there's been a regression in his game so far this season. And the regression is that his pass completion rate is slightly down on last year. His aerial ability, his aerial wins, which I don't have shown on the screen for those of you who are listening, that has also regressed this year. I think he's coming in at something like 38% for aerial win rate or something like that. It's something that's a bit lower than, it is 38.5% here, where he was at 60 and above all the previous years that he's been at Aston Villa. So there's been a slight regression. Now, a lot of that is down to how poorly the team has played, obviously. It's also down to the fact that there was times during the start of the year whereby we were just so ball dominant that he didn't get a chance to head the ball and so on. But there's other areas whereby he's slightly regressed as well. His progressive passes within 90 minutes has also slightly regressed year on year as well. He's currently coming in at 10 currently this season. Last year he was 81. The year before he was at 104 progressive passes. So, under Unai Emery, he's been quite adept at that. And look, I know that it's only 10 progressive passes so far this season. I know 81 last year. If you extrapolate out over the course of the year, he's probably on target to beat that. But I want to get him back over 100, those 100 passes, progressive passes. So I want to see him being a fulcrum there at that left-hand side. Now, it is good news for Lucas Digne as well, because his performances have really improved. They've really improved in an attacking sense, along with the rest of the team, as the team's performances have progressed. When Lucas Digne, I've specifically left out 2 statistics here that I have not mentioned as well. When Lucas Digne plays in the team this season, we've only conceded 3 goals. Conversely, when Lucas Digne plays in this season also, we've scored 6 goals. So I like to see that number to be in the plus point, I suppose, for goals scored as opposed to goals against, specifically when we're looking at our defenders. Now, is that all down to Lucas Digne? No, but it goes to show team cohesion. Goes to show that when he's on the field, obviously we have we score 100% more goals than we've conceded so far this season, and that has to count for something. So Lucas Digne, my thoughts on Lucas Digne so far are that underwhelming start to the season. coming back into his own, showing that grit between his teeth to get back into the French squad, was in the French squad, had an assist for France against Iceland as well, and is looking to push on to get on that plane to get to international tournaments this off season as well. So Lucas Digne, delighted to have him. Looking forward to see him get better. Looking forward to see him getting back to where he was maybe 2 years ago with Aston Villa, and looking forward to seeing how he deals with somebody who's breathing down his neck. We'll actually take a look at some of his stats here over the last 365 days. We can see here once again the aerial abilities and apologies to Lucas Digne. I've seemed to have cropped out his face here for whatever reason. But we can see here that his aerial win percentage is normally on the high side. That's an outlier, the fact that it's so low at the moment as well. But a lot of the other areas here we can see I want him to increase his passing output, specifically outside of crosses as well, because as we know he's a great crosser of the ball. Want to get him more involved in those progressive pass areas also, and try and get him back over that 100 progressive passes over the course of the season again, like he had 2 seasons ago when we reached the Champions League. Now, I mentioned that there is somebody breathing down his back, and as we know, that is Ian Maatsen. Ian Maatsen will always carry around the 37 million moniker with him. That's just what will happen. And the reason that will happen is because he's now into his second season. I'm going to say he's seen limited game time. And I think the reason for that is, once again, I'm unashamedly, and I've been very open in my criticism about his defensive positioning and his ability, or his penchant, I suppose, really to trust his natural abilities and trust his pace to get back and to try and use his natural talents, natural speed or whatever, to try and make up for his defensive positioning. It wasn't great last season. And we see last season, when you look up his statistics, I think it was six errors he had that led to goals last year for Ian Maatsen, which was something that I think was underreported, but like the statistics matched what I saw last year. Flip side on this, so far this year, there's been no errors that he's had leading to any goals. He's played 7 games, 418 minutes. When he's been on the field, we've scored 4 goals. When he's been on the field also, we've conceded 5 goals. Once again, that's not down to him. None of those errors were his. Like Lucas Digne, he's had 7 tackles. He's won 6 of them. He's had 1 shot blocked. And where he comes into his own is in that attacking sense. There was a lot of calls for him when our left side of midfield wasn't working, to elevate him into that midfield wing position and have Lucas Digne play behind him. And I don't think that was a bad shout. But I think really that when we speak about these 2 left backs, we have to make note of the fact as well that our whole left side was completely dormant and was completely passive, should I say, for vast swathes of the first 4 or 5 games of this season. So, we have to take that into account as part of context as to why the attacking numbers, the goals scored numbers, all that kind of stuff would be down for both of these players as well. But when he gets the ball at his feet, he's a very competent passer, 81.3% pass completion rate and 17 progressive passes. The big thing for Ian Maatsen, for me, will always be learning within the rigidity of Unai Emery's system, learning to play to that tee and to the pitch of how Unai Emery wants you to play as that fullback in a defensive capacity, as well as being able to go forward. And I think the green shoots are very much there for Ian Maatsen. I've said it this year, been impressed with him once or twice that I've seen him play this year. Was impressed with him down the back end of last year as well, outside of the Manchester United game, where he just absolutely, and I think the whole team was absolutely, overcome by whatever the occasion was, or events within that game. I think Ian Maatsen also was once he came on too, but he's put that behind him. Long off season there, he's come back and he looks to have worked on his defensive positioning. I want to see him working it more and to learn from the wily old fox and Lucas Digne and to breathe down his neck and to make that position his own towards the end of the year. But it's not going to be easy because Lucas Digne's looking to go to a World Cup. So he's going to have his work cut out for him there. But one of the great things I think about Ian Maatsen is you got to look at, I think he's a very good study on why you need to watch games and then look at the statistics afterwards, because his statistics don't lie. And here are his statistics over a 365 game period. He has, for those of you watching, it's nearly all green. Absolutely. He's been really good in the passing phases. He's scored a few goals. He's been very, very competent in the defensive phases. When you look at the numbers of tackles, number of interceptions, number of of clearances, and also in the aerial game where he comes in the 66th percentile. But the one thing statistics won't show you is positioning. It won't show you starting points. It won't show you finishing points. It won't show you how they hand players off during transitions as well. And that's the intricacy of the game. That's the Unai Emery-ification of Ian Maatsen's game. And he is learning that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season has in store for both of these players. I really want to see Lucas Digne at the age of 32, going on 33, make that position in the left back, or make a position within that squad his own, that French squad his own, and get there and go to play and represent his country. You know, use that leadership, use that experience that he has from his time at Everton, even with us as well. And nothing would make me prouder than to see him and see all of our players reach their potential for their national teams as well. Same with Ian Maatsen. He needs to reach his potential for Aston Villa first. I'm seeing some green shoots for him there, specifically in the positioning point of view. He can go on and make this. He's a young man. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season shares or holds for him. So my question at the start was left backs overwhelmed, ? Or underwhelmed, should I say? ? I do think that they did start the season in an underwhelming fashion, but both of them have shown progression. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the whole team, the team as a whole, progresses after we come back from the international break. So thanks so much, everybody, for your time. That's the left back position. Coming to you tomorrow with the whole lot of the midfield all rolled into one. I went over in the 8 minutes today. I'm going to go over again tomorrow. So apologies about that. We'll catch you again tomorrow. We'll talk about the midfield. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
It's Villa in the morning with Villa AM. It's Villa in the morning with Villa.